Mi amor, te amo. Oh, baby.
Salam alaikum, friends. I wanted to, do like a get ready with me kind of video. At first, while answering all of your questions, but you've seen enough of that already. I have my Stanley here, water, not tea. Yes, I am still in Egypt, I know, and I've not really been keeping you guys updated. I'm just here like enjoying an uninterrupted time with my mother. We're just having a girls' time. Like honestly, we don't even go out that much. We're mostly at our room, just sleeping, eating, talking about life. Like I really, really enjoy this time I'm having with her. So yeah, unfortunately there aren't many questions because I do not know why. When I ask you guys to ask me questions, you do not ask me questions. But when I don't need you guys to ask me questions, you keep asking me questions. So it's kind of cliche, but yeah, I'm gonna answer the few that I have. Get you tea, get you coffee, get you popcorn. Okay, should I say get those because they aren't that juicy, but yeah, we would see. Anyways, I'm not really wearing a foundation or anything. I'm just wearing a pair of lashes, test lashes, and I do not like them, to be honest. I use this Tarte lashes and I do not like it. It's too long and I just don't know. It's just not my kind of vibe. Maybe I didn't get the right ones, but yeah. I just wore eyeshadow. I just did my eyes like to see how the lashes go and I took a picture like, and that's all. Okay, I screen grabbed, I'm using my phone, I screen grabbed some of the questions on Instagram and we would start with that. Where are they? I have so many pictures of my mom from this trip. Where are you? The first question is, please share your detailed stew recipe. I think I kind of know who this is, Aisha. If I'm right, she is so sweet. I really do love this woman. So I think that day she was fasting the next day at the office and we were at the mosque and she was like, I saw your post on this rice, beans and stew, and I was like, oh my good lord, it is so nice. And I was like, it's so basic, but she was like, no, I want that recipe. And I think I gave her an overview with my close friend as well, Rukaya. She was standing right there. I'm not really too sure. Okay, I think I made that with Mutin. Yeah, it should. Okay, so how did I make that stew? And that stew was bang, like it was banging all the right veins, like it was sweet, so I can understand, but I don't know how she saw it in the picture. So the first thing I did that very day, I have so many recipes. Sometimes I just wake up and I wing everything, but for that particular stew I could remember exactly how I made it because it lasted in my senses for a long time. Someone is running through the hallways. I think maybe a child, so I'm sorry about that. So first thing, I had mutin and washed, prepped. I added onions. What I do is I don't just make a broth, like a simple broth, because the broth ends up being in my stew, so I really want it to be juicy, really want it to be fragrant. So the mutin, like with onions, I just like you're making pepper soup, like our Nigerian pepper soup, that's how I make my broth. I added so much, then I added some I think turkey bones as well. I had like leftover turkey bones, so I added those in. Peppers, onion, garlic. I don't really add too many spices in my meals, honestly, if not that I'm making like a particular dish that requests for like so much spice. Onions, like seasoning, and then what else? I just made that broth, and then after the meat was cooked, I saved it, kept the broth and kept the meat separately. And then my whole pepper mix was like I use a whole lot of onions when I'm making stew. So onions, because it's so sweet, then I wouldn't have to add too many seasoning like salt and Maggi or what else, you know. So the pepper mix is onions, shambo, the long peppers, chili, tarugu, which is habanero, then tatasai, which is the bell pepper, the big one, and tomato. So I do not add too many tomato. I use more of shambo than tomato in my stew. I know I am gonna talk a lot, so I do need water. And I told you guys, when I have my Stanley, you guys aren't gonna breathe. So that pepper mix, I like to blend it like not too smooth, not too runny, you know, like, how do we say it in Hausa? Market there. Yes, I think that's how it's called, or market view, something like that. That's how I love to make my pepper like mix for that particular stew, or rather that's how I made it for that particular stew. Yes. And then I had ghee. For those of you who do not know ghee, ghee is a clarified butter, so I added a tiny bit of ghee, and I also make my lamp oil. When I say lamp oil, meaning I make my like oil from lamb fat, which definitely I will be sharing with you maybe on YouTube or on Instagram, inshallah. When I get back, I have so much lamb fat left from Eid, and I'm gonna show you how I make lamb fat. It is so nice, so juicy, it changes your whole game, like the food. I'm still like not 100%, but I'm fine. So lamb fat, a bit of ghee, and a tiny bit of vegetable oil. I do not add too much oil in my stew as well, because I love drinking the stew. I wouldn't want to be drinking too much fat. So put your oil in a pan, add sliced onions, garlic, chopped ginger. When they saute for a bit, add your pepper mix. Or before adding the pepper mix, depending on how you love your meat, if you want it to be like a bit crispy, then you can saute the meat with the onions and then add the pepper mix. If you do not want it sauteed, you want it like very soft, then you can just keep the meat aside for now. But what I did for that particular day was that I sauteed, after the onions were sauteed a bit, I added the meat, sauteed it for a bit. It was actually not a bit, I wanted it to be a bit crispy because I wanted it to be still hard after the stew has already been done. So after that, I put on the pepper mix and I added a bit of baking powder, more seasoning of my choice. You can use anything, but I think that very day I kept it really simple because the broth was really the star of the show. So when the pepper mix and all was, you know, drained, no water, I added the stock in, and then I added back the meat inside, tasted it, everything was on point, and then I reduced the heat and allowed it to simmer for like over 25 minutes, like on low heat. You know, the stock or broth with the stew merged, you know, everything was just okay. The consistency of the stew became very well, and that was all. Stew was done. It tasted absolutely amazing, and it was so simple. But the key is that make sure your broth or your stock is really juicy, packed with onions, ginger, garlic, you know, and peppers, like just like you're making. I hope I've answered your question, Aisha. Can't wait to see you again, inshallah. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she said, I do not have any question, just wanted to say I love you, fi sabilillah, and I am learning a lot from you. Oh, mashallah, Allahumma barik. I think you've been following me for a really long while because I know your name and we speak often in my DMs. Thank you so much, and I love you so much as well. And then the next question is, where are you? Okay, I know I've not really given much details about where I am, but I am in Egypt, in Cairo currently. I've been here for weeks now. Much seem like that, but yeah, I've been here for weeks now. The first plan was after Umrah. We spent how many days? I think 10 days. Did we spend 10 days in Saudi? Did we spend 10 days in Saudi? Yeah, we did. And then we came to Cairo. Um, Honestly, the plan was to be in Lebanon by now, but then we had things to do here in Egypt, my mother and I. There was some things that needed to get done, and that is why we're here in Egypt. But I still don't know, maybe before we head back, we're still gonna branch to another place or country, inshallah, maybe with some family members as well. I am not too sure about that, but for now, yeah, I am in Cairo. The next question is not a question. You are so simple yet beautiful, mashallah. I love how you do your thing. This is from Khadija Uthman. The other question was from Zainabi. Shukran. Thank you so much, Khadija. Thank you so much. Simplicity is key. Inshallah, I hope to like continue my life like this. Then the other one, do you have a house help or cook help? I think she meant, do you have a cook or housekeeper? Of course we do have someone who helps us, not always, because sometimes you wake up and you don't even have anybody to help you, but we do, alhamdulillah, we do have both. One question said, Sabah Noor there. Okay, now it's Masal Khair. I'm doing this in the evening. The sun has set. It's almost Maghrib time. Sabah Noor there. I love everything about you so, mashallah. My question is, are you a chartered accountant, please? Thank you. This is from Sadia Aminu. That's really nice. Even though I love to keep some of my qualifications hidden, not because it matters or anything, but because before you achieve something, I believe in privacy, so which is why I do that. I have, not to be a typical Nigerian, no. The answer to your question is no. I am not yet a chartered accountant, but it's in view, inshallah. So for those of you who do not know, I am an accountant. I have a BSc and MSc in accounting. I also have some qualifications. So thank you for asking. And then the other question, I've been getting these questions a lot, and I wanted it to be like the last question I would answer, because I just wanted to, you know, get something out there. Sabah Noor says, this is from Khadija Ahmed. Are you married and do you have a kid? I love your lifestyle. And then there are plenty like this. Please, how many children do you have? Okay, so let's make something very clear. I don't think it's nice for you to ask any woman, like, if she's not open. Like, there are women, vloggers, influencers, content creators that are really open with their kids, which is, there is no harm in that if you feel you're okay with it, which is really nice. I cannot judge anybody, to each their own, but I don't think it's okay to ask any woman about a child. I don't see it as right for you to ask any woman about having a child, because it's a really, really sensitive topic. Some people are struggling, some have, you don't just know what that person is going through, so I don't see it as nice. Maybe to you it's okay, but I just want to correct you, and I believe I am doing the right thing by saying don't ask any woman about that part of her life. It's private. If she chooses to share with you, then fine. If she chooses not, then don't ask. It is very rude and disrespectful. And so please, if you do not know, please do know now that it is not right. And then about asking me about my marital status or relationship status, I'm not hiding anything. I just feel like if you're close to me, you already know my status. You understand? This is social media, and this is YouTube, for example. As much as you're my friends and my family, you do not know me that much, and the world, the social media world, the world in general is scary. And personally, I am a very private person, and some people might, you know, say no to that, but I love my life and the way I take my life. If you're close to me, you would know. I know there is nothing in telling my viewers my status, my relationship status, but I've already said it. I think I made highlights on my Instagram letting people know that I am not available. I have a man, in my life that I am grateful for every single day, and I hope he knows that. Just me not mentioning him or you know, posting my relationship out there doesn't mean I do not have one, but that's my personal preference. I want to have something that is just mine. I do not have to share it with the world. You know, the people that are close to me already know my relationship status, but then the only thing that's constant is me. The only thing that's constant is my name, sorry. So I don't like being labeled by anything or being viewed just because I'm with someone, or you know, I just don't like that. I signed up for YouTube, I signed up for social media, so let it just be about me. If my family want to be on social media, then fine, I'm not gonna say no, you know, it's their choice. But if they do not want to be on social media as well, I'm not gonna, you know, stress about it. I don't even want them to be. So like even my mom, now we're together this whole trip, but you've not really seen her because she didn't sign up for YouTube. I did, you know. So we need to just respect people's privacy, and we need to just respect people's privacy. I say, I never say never. Maybe I might say it or show it in the future, but I do not know, you know. And at this point in my life, I do not want to do it. I'm not ready to do it. I do not even want to do it, and I don't think I would do it. So I just need you to respect. I am fine. I do not need a man on social media. I do not need anything. And then the funny thing is, the question come from women. Like, this question come from women. Why do you want to know? Like, if I don't have a husband, would you view me differently? If I have a husband, would you view me differently? If I have maybe a type of boyfriend you might not like, would you view me differently? If I do not have kids, would you view me differently? If I do have kids, would you have viewed me differently? So let's just keep this life very simple. When I'm ready to share, I would share, but for now, I am absolutely not there yet. So thank you so much. These are all the questions that I've been at. All the other questions are: how many kids do you have? Are you married? Who are you with? Like, come on, if I'm with whoever, it's not anybody's problem, okay? So yeah, that's the question. Again, me and my friend Aisha, every time we send each other memes, like if we were getting paid by the amount of memes we were being sent, like that we sent to each other, we would be billionaires by now. Interesting. Sorry for being carried away a bit, but it's already nightfall and I just locked my mom in the room. I was like, Mama, you're just talking with your kids and I need to focus on filming this. I think she's sleeping, but I need to wake her up. It's almost Maghrib time, and I hope you love this updated Q&A. I will be doing this, I think, after every quarter, like, yeah, quarterly. It would be nice to, like, if you have questions, if it's up to 10, I would do this kind of thing. So I hope you love this. And if you have any other questions, I honestly do not mind, send them, and I would answer them in, you know, upcoming vlogs to come. Thank you. Bye.